Well, you know, the more I get to know Mr. Steve Banta, the more I like him. Take this recent example of Sunset Bob did a little spoof on Mr. Banta and asked him to ask somebody to do a background check on him. And so what did Steve do? He sent Bob his resume of all things, his resume and his cover letter. So I think we should read it. I think we should put it, you know, since he sent it to us, we might as well look at it, shouldn't we? So, the position of Executive Director, Operations for TriMet. Currently serve as Chief Operations Officer and have been with the Port Authority of Allegheny County in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for almost 8 years. I have 21 years of varied public transit experience, starting in 1986, repairing rail cars and moving into operations management in 1989. In addition to my Port Authority experience, I have worked in various capacities for public transit agencies in San Diego, Washington, Los Angeles, and Dallas. In my capacity as Chief Operations Officer, I have worked closely with our Chief Executive Officer and the Board of Directors to improve public transportation in Allegheny County. Over the past year, despite our budget challenges, we have reduced staffing levels, increased maintenance reliability of the revenue fleets, and experienced ridership increases, all while finishing the fiscal year with 7.4 million positive variance. Moreover, as a result of these interactions and my capacity as Chief Operations Officer, I believe I have a grasp of key issues facing transit today. Okay, labor relations. In an effort to control costs associated with health and pensions and the goal of reducing labor costs, labor negotiations are always complicated. Having served on labor negotiations teams, I understand the dynamics of bargaining. I have the resolve to make difficult decisions and not to personalize issues. To that end, I will hold the TriMet employees and ultimately writing public at the forefront of any decision. Well, that sounds good. System expansion. As your current expansion plans materials, my experience with 4 successful rail startups and the Stage 2 program here in Pittsburgh has prepared me to deliver and maintain TriMet project services on time and under budget. Well, that doesn't include the West, but you can't be blamed for that. As part of the Stage 2 program and 5.2-mile extension of our existing light rail system, I am responsible for the largest contract. Purchase of 28 new light rail vehicles and the remanufacture of the existing 55 light rail vehicles. Contract value of $1.52 million. The new LRV portion will finish within budget and allow the contingency of $3.4 million to be used for other organizational priorities. At the same time, I was able to provide additional new equipment for remanufactured vehicles at a value of $14.4 million. Dedicated funding, predictable and foreseeable operation and capital funding is critical to provide consistent and random capacity of executive director, board stakeholders that will develop strategies, and I will lead TriMet effectively. Well, blah blah. In closing, I believe I have the requisite skills, working experience, and understanding of public transit to serve TriMet as its director of operations. Okay, well, that certainly looks good. All right, now. Okay, so let's see what he's done. Port Authority of Allegheny County, and let's take a look at Allegheny County real quick. Okay, next is Dallas Area Rapid Transit, Senior Manager Rail Services. Oh, and Port Authority of Allegheny, he was the Chief Operations Officer. Let's take a look at the Dallas Area Rapid Transit. Next is the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transit Authority. He was a senior rail equipment maintenance supervisor.
It's all about movement of people from home to work, of goods from port to market, of ideas from concept to reality. We're Metro, the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority, and our task is daunting: to continuously improve Southern California's transportation system, making it as safe, efficient, and effective.
Next is the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit, where he was a mechanic from 1989, from April to October. He was a mechanic. How about that? Let's take a look at Washington Metro. Last but not least, from 1986 to 1989, he was a lineman at the San Diego Trolley. Well, we definitely can see that he's got plenty of experience dealing with light rail vehicles. I wonder how much experience he has with buses, because he's the head of the buses too. Well, he seems to be a very open-minded guy, and I wouldn't have just walked in and asked to see him if I didn't think that. So I don't see a lot of bus stuff here, but that's not necessarily bad, because he's got Peggy Hansen there, who knows probably more about the bus side than anybody in TriMet right about now. So anyway, thanks for sharing that resume. You certainly have qualifications, especially when it comes to rail. It's very interesting. I appreciate the fact that you provided that. That's excellent. Anybody who is willing to just come right out and provide the information and be honest right out front, you can't go wrong with that kind of person, in my opinion.